Do I need to take a vitamin D supplement in winter? And are there any benefits to taking fish oils? Do I need to cut out carbs to lose weight? Over the past 2 weeks, I've encouraged you guys to send on your questions to me about diets and supplements, and thank you so much for everyone who got in touch. I have selected your top 5 questions today on a variety of different topics such as intermittent fasting, dietary supplements, and how to build on our immune system. So let's get started. Hi guys, my name is Didi and I'm an Irish-based registered dietitian working for my dietetic consultancy, Didititian. I work both clinically in a hospital and I provide one-to-one and group workshops to help make evidence-based nutrition a little bit more accessible and a little more fun. I also write about a wide variety of nutrition and health related topics on my blog didititian.com, and I produce a new video here on YouTube every 2 weeks. So please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already for more evidence-based nutrition videos like this one. Just to let you know guys, I really have appreciated your support so far, so thank you very much. Now over the past 3 videos, I have looked at some of the psychology behind diet cultures and I reviewed some of the most popular fad diets out there making the rounds. I also reviewed some of the evidence behind dietary supplements to explore if they really are worth the ever-growing cost. Now I was delighted to see you guys getting so involved in the discussions on these topics, and I received several excellent questions about diets and dietary supplements. So here are some of your top questions answered. So one of you guys asked, do I need to take a vitamin D supplement in winter? Now vitamin D is an important vitamin that is needed to regulate the amount of calcium and phosphorus in our bodies. This in turn helps us to keep our bones, immune systems and muscles and teeth healthy. Now while we do get some vitamin D from our foods, such as eggs and oily fish, we tend to get the majority of our vitamin D from the sun. To make the most of that summer sun and to produce enough vitamin D to carry us through winter, we do recommend that our skin is exposed to sunlight for just a few minutes on most days of the summer. However, of course, be careful not to get sunburnt, as this does put us at risk of skin cancer. However, no matter how much skin is exposed to the winter sun, countries in the northern latitudes simply do not get the right type of sunlight to produce vitamin D in our skin during the months of November to March. Now this is because the sun is at too much of an angle in the northern countries and the strength of the sun is reduced. And so during these months we rely completely on the vitamin D that we have stored from the summer and on the vitamin D from our diet. It is important to consider that if you are not exposed to much sunlight over the summer, then your risk of vitamin D deficiency can be much higher. Now we often see this in older adults, those who might be more homebound for example, or in people who cover up more of their skin when they leave the house. People with darker skin living in northern latitudes are also more prone to vitamin D deficiency, as the pigmentation in their skin reduces the ability of the skin to produce vitamin D in response to our weaker sunlight at this latitude. As I mentioned in my previous video on diet supplements, there is just one subgroup of our population that is formally recommended to take a vitamin D supplement. So this policy recommends that all children under the age of 1 are to take 5 micrograms of vitamin D a day. However, the Food Safety Authority of Ireland produced dietary guidelines in 2011 that suggest that a 5 microgram supplement of vitamin D may be useful for those between 5 and 50 years old, and that 10 micrograms may be considered for everyone over the age of 50. Now, while this is not a national policy, it does suggest that the evidence is growing that perhaps a standard vitamin D supplement is beneficial for more than just young children. However, there is also now emerging evidence to suggest that having vitamin D levels that are too high may have a negative effect on our health. And especially people who take a vitamin D supplement unnecessarily may be at risk of high vitamin D levels. So it is definitely worth having your vitamin D levels checked now and again. For example, when you're getting a blood sample checked for something else. Our blood vitamin D levels will give us a good idea whether a supplement may be recommended for yourself. Now be aware that our vitamin D levels will naturally be higher if they are checked during the summer months compared to winter. And as a general rule, if your vitamin D levels are borderline low or normal in summer, you may be at risk of a deficiency over the course of winter. So to summarize my answer, and while it may not be recommended for everyone to take a vitamin D supplement over the course of winter, it may be useful to have your vitamin D levels checked if you feel that you may be at an increased risk, so in one of those at-risk groups. So another question that I received was, is intermittent fasting good for weight loss? Intermittent fasting is definitely a type of dieting that seems to be growing in popularity. And I actually reviewed some of the risks and benefits of this diet in my recent video on the most popular weight loss diets. Intermittent fasting diets can generally be divided into diets that require you to either fast for 1 or more full days in a week, or diets where you fast between certain times of the day or night. Now, while these diets may indeed lead to some weight loss, this is mostly due to the fact that you are simply not eating as many calories. Intermittent fasting diets, where you fast for 1 or more days a week, is likely the more difficult and dangerous of the two forms of fasting, as it can leave people irritable and fatigued and reduces productivity and your ability to exercise. Now, indeed, calorie reduction will usually lead to weight loss, and many dietitians will strive for a calorie reduction when helping people to lose weight. However, a calorie reduction can be achieved in a much easier and safer way through just healthy, balanced, and far more sustainable diets. Now, one of the psychological elements of intermittent fasting that may help people to achieve this calorie deficit is that by imposing a certain dietary rule, such as not eating for a day or not eating after a certain time of the evening, they in some way help to control their impulsivity to eat unhealthy foods. Rather than having to make small but constant little healthy choices throughout the day, a diet rule such as fasting for a day or a few hours takes away the decision making altogether on healthy food choices. However, ultimately, you are not learning healthy eating behaviours, but you're instead creating an eating pattern that very rarely matches your energy levels or that will allow for schedule changes and social events. If you are eager to try intermittent fasting, I would recommend to try just the overnight fast rather than a full day at a time. Imposing a small rule such as not eating between 8 p.m. and 7 a.m, for example, may help you to manage that evening snacking, and because of that may help you fall asleep with a more rested stomach. While healthy eating for weight loss does not require strict rules, and occasionally having a late night healthy snack will not completely destroy your healthy eating efforts, trying to avoid late night snacking is definitely compatible with usual healthy eating practices. So looking at the next question, one of you was wondering about the following. Are there any foods that I should eat to build up my immune system in winter? Now firstly, let's have a quick look at what our immune system actually is. Our immune system is the word we use to describe all of our body's systems that are in place to help us fight off disease. It includes a whole range of organs, including our skin, our bone marrow, our spleen, our lymphatic system, and far more. And it involves a whole host of cells, including the many types of white blood cells and antibodies. Now, to answer your question bluntly, no, there isn't 1 or 2 superfoods that will help us to fuel our immune system over winter. Our nutrition should come from as large a variety of foods as possible, just to make sure we get all those vitamins and minerals and the various antioxidants and phytonutrients that will help us to stay well. So a diet that meets or preferably exceeds the recommended 5 a day of fruits and vegetables may help you to meet your requirements for many of the water-soluble vitamins and minerals that are linked to normal immune function. There's also a small amount of research that suggests that, for example, taking a daily vitamin C supplement of over 200 milligrams a day may reduce the severity and duration of the common cold. And for those of us who are undergoing heavy and strenuous exercise, vitamin C supplements may also help to reduce your risk of getting a cold. There's also some evidence to suggest that a zinc supplement taken during the cold and until the cold is gone may reduce the duration of a cold. However, if we're going to take a little bit of a broader look at our diet and our immune system as a whole, then there is some evidence to suggest that maintaining a healthy weight is key to keeping our immune systems working normally. So being overweight or underweight may have a negative effect on how our immune system works. And next, there was a question that a few of you guys asked. It was, do I need to avoid carbs to lose weight? And to be honest, carbs get so much unnecessary bad rep. As I mentioned in my recent video on popular fad diets, there has been a version of a low-carb weight loss diet doing the rounds for decades. Yet like with so many of the fad diets out there, weight loss is likely just seen as a result of calorie restriction by having to limit the amount of foods that we can eat, rather than any effect from avoiding the carbs, okay? So research has shown that people on a low-carb diet lose around the same amount of weight over the course of a year as people on a low-fat diet, which includes carbs. Now, when you look at calories per gram of nutrient, carbs contain 4 calories per gram and fats contain 9 calories per gram. So this means that fat is far more calorie dense than carbohydrates. And so a lower fat diet is still a very useful way to reduce your weight. While healthy eating guidelines do recommend that you avoid higher sugary, indulgent foods when trying to lose weight, this is mostly because these types of foods often provide us with excess calories without providing us with useful other nutrients, such as fiber, vitamins, and minerals. Now, it is important to consider carbs as more than just sugar, okay? So the term carbs also refers to starches and fiber. And diets, especially high in fiber-rich foods, such as whole grains, pulses, and vegetables, are linked to healthier weights. Now, while healthy eating does include regular consumption of these higher fiber carb foods, be aware that recommended intakes of these foods are often much lower than what people tend to eat. So our Irish food pyramid suggests that we eat 3 to 5 portions of carbohydrate foods, with one portion being about 2 slices of bread, 2 medium potatoes, or 1/3 cup of uncooked porridge. Now, many of us would easily exceed our recommended portions of carbs, so do consider looking over our own diet to see if a reduction in carbohydrate foods may be recommended for you. And just looking at the last question then, are there any benefits in taking fish oil supplements? There is a growing mistrust that our diet could simply not provide us with all the nutrients that our body needs. But guys, this is not true, okay? A healthy and well-balanced diet really can meet all the recommended daily allowances for our nutrients. Fish oils have been taken as a supplement for decades though, originally in the form of a nasty spoonful of cod liver oil, and more recently in neatly packaged fish oil capsules. Now, fish oils are rich in an essential fatty acid group called omega-3 fatty acids. These are essential for our brain, heart and joint health, to name but a few. However, a mere 2 portions of oily fish a week will help you to meet your daily recommended allowances for omega-3 fatty acids. Oily fish types include salmon, trout, herring, mackerel and sardines, and a portion is usually around 75 grams or 2.5 ounces of each of these types of fish. So if you do not eat oily fish, you can still get some of your omega-3 fatty acids from a variety of plant-based foods, such as rapeseed oil, walnuts, flax seeds and soy products. And our body can then produce some of these fish-specific omega-3 fats from these plant sources. Now, just looking at the research available at this time, there is no strong evidence available to suggest that taking an omega-3 supplement is better for our health than consuming our omega-3 fats from our diet. And so I would say just enjoy your oily fish and your plant-based sources of omega-3 fats, as these not only help you to meet your daily omega-3 requirements, but will also provide you with a whole host of other nutrients and some enjoyment. So guys, I hope I've been able to answer some of your key questions in enough detail today. Now, of course, feel free to continue asking questions or get in touch for me to clarify any specific points. I will try to respond either in a personal message to yourself, or I may even cover one of your questions anonymously, of course, on my Instagram stories. Now, there is so much nutrition information out there online and on social media. And unfortunately, a lot of the information out there is biased, incorrect, or occasionally even dangerous. So I really appreciate you guys seeking out dietitians and qualified healthcare professionals for your nutrition information. If you like this video, please let me know down there with a thumbs up and a little positive comment. And for more videos like this, please subscribe to my channel and click that little bell button on my channel page to get notified when my next video comes out. Thanks so much guys, and I'll see you again in 2 weeks. Bye!